So a bit of terminology really quick. So invoke and evoke. So we've all heard these words. We've heard about a million different definitions of what they're about. And sometimes we miss the real simplicity of the terms sometimes, and I think it's sort of worth having a look at. So evoke literally just means to call on something. From the occult and spiritual and magical spaces where we're of course talking about spirits. So this is just literally calling a spirit, any spirit. Invoke specifically is a reserved word that is in relation to a god, goddess, deity. I'm using god to mean deity only. So evoke is anything that's not a deity, and invoke is anything that is. And that's really the simplicity of it. Where it gets more complicated is because we often hear people and they'll say, "Oh well, invoke, it has the word in, and it means that they're brought in, and they possess us or they work through us." Well, yes and no. I mean, in many cultures, not all, but in many cultures, possessory work would only ever be done with the deity. So yeah, they would have to be invoked. But the the major influence in the West is more like ceremonial magic. It's the Golden Dawn, the OTO, organisations like that. And then the impact that had on revivalist witchcraft, which was drawing from actual cultural things in witchcraft, but then used a framework that was ceremonial. And what that ended up with was we was looking at how they invoke, and they invoke ceremonial magician wants authority to do the work. So they're always wanting to channel the divine authority. They're not just calling the god, they're calling the god and wanting to be vested with their power. So what happens then is they have to call them through themselves. So they aspect, or whatever word they're using for the possessory experience. So we then start seeing invoke as purely being something that enters into the practitioner, the worker, whatever, and then flows through them. But the word invoke literally just means to call a deity, and if we call a deity and then allow a possessory experience, we still have to invoke them. But invocation is not tied to the possessory experience. So that was just my little 2 cents on the difference between invoke and evoke. I think it's good that we try and maintain language. Like I always say, if I said, "Oh, the car is parked outside the house," no one then goes, "Oh well, when I said that, I meant, do you want a cup of tea?" It's like words have meanings, and when we start just making up our own attributions, language doesn't do what it's supposed to do, which is convey an understanding. When we, we agree that a word means what it means, then we can have sensible conversations. So, would you like a cup of tea literally means, would you like a cup of tea, and has nothing to do with the car parked outside of the house. So, that's my thing. I would like to see more restoration of meanings of words and undoing sort of twisted or slightly misinterpreted meanings, and I'm staying with evoke, invoke, any spirit versus only a deity. If there's any more words that you feel have been slightly twisted, lost their meaning, drop them in the comments. Let's start a little discussion. Look forward to it. Until next time, take care. Bye.